This short little clip encompasses every reason why dropshipping won't last.
We know customers like low prices, we know customers like big selection, and we know that customers like fast delivery. And those things are going to be true 10 years from now. They're going to be true 20 years from now. So we can count on those things and we can put energy into them.
How am I so sure dropshipping won't last? Let's find out. No, I'm not going to try to sell you on a course or something at the end. I actually know some of the big dropshippers in the space, and most of them are pretty good guys. But I wanted to provide a different perspective than what every other online guru will tell you before you go out and potentially waste your money on dropshipping. Dropshipping was one of the latest, we'll call it business out of a box schemes that has been around for a few years now. This is something that internet marketers claim that if you buy their course, they'll teach you how with very little effort you can make money, quit your job, buy a
new Lamborghini
without much effort because of this new opportunity. Now that doesn't necessarily make these business opportunities bad, but this is where things start getting a little tricky. The whole premise of dropshipping is that you find these so-called winning products from wholesale distributors, usually from China with AliExpress. Then you set up an online store with these products for sale at a marked up price from the distributor without having any actual inventory on hand. Then you run paid ads to this product, usually on Instagram or Facebook, and if someone buys from you, that's when you actually order the product from the wholesale distributor at a wholesale price. The product gets shipped directly to the customer from the warehouse, and the benefit of this is that you don't need any money to start and you don't have to do any of the fulfillment whatsoever. All you have to do is find the product, get traffic to your website, people buy, and you pocket the difference. But this is where this business model starts to fall apart. So what's wrong with dropshipping and why won't it last? Well, it's actually pretty simple if you're able to answer this one question. Where does money come from? When you get paid at a job, you made money because you provided value to your employer in the form of your labor. And in every other kind of business on the face of the planet, it's the exact same story. You make money from customers when you provide enough value to them. The more value, the more money you make. So money can be looked at as just a storehouse of value. You get money when you provide value, and you can use the storehouse of value in the form of paper in your wallet or digits in your bank account to exchange it for other things of value in the future, like a
new Lamborghini.
So let's go back to that clip of Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world.
We know customers like low prices, we know customers like big selection, and we know that customers like fast delivery. And those things are going to be true 10 years from now. They're going to be true 20 years from now. So we can count on those things and we can put energy into them.
In Jeff's own words, customers that buy products online who would be potentially buying your dropship products if you were to start a dropshipping business only care about these three things: low prices, having a big selection, and having fast delivery. And since those three things are literally all Amazon focuses on, that's probably why Jeff is the richest man in the world, because he's provided more value to the world than anyone else by building a worldwide infrastructure of warehouses, distribution centers, same-day delivery, all with the goal of keeping prices as low as possible with the biggest selection as possible and the fastest delivery as possible. Compare that mindset to the only things people focus on with dropshipping. How can I do the least amount of work? How can I make enough money to quit my job and fire my boss? Oh, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to ship from China to the customer? Oh well, whatever. It's not like customers care about fast shipping or anything. And there lies the problem. The entire idea and business model of dropshipping completely neglects what every customer wants. You will never have the lowest prices since you're ordering one product at a time from a warehouse that you have no control over. You're not going to have the biggest selection because all you're focused on is finding that one winning product. And you're inherently not going to have the fastest delivery because it's shipping directly from a warehouse instead of a giant custom-built infrastructure of distribution centers like what Amazon has. Or in other words, you literally provide next to zero value to customers besides the actual value of the product itself, which Amazon probably sells to at a cheaper price with faster shipping, with better customer service, with a better return policy, and the list just goes on and on and on. And because we know money comes from providing value, since you don't provide much value at all, you're probably not going to make much money. So how are people making money from this then? It's a reasonable question with a few possible answers. Whenever there's a new wave, whether that be mobile apps or the .com wave, etc., the ones that are there first have such a huge advantage that there's a dedicated phrase for it, the first mover's advantage. There's next to no competition, you have all the customers to yourself, and it's a lot easier to do business and grow before the market starts to get saturated. I go over this concept in my breakdown of the success of pretty much the best tech channel on YouTube, Marques Brownlee, and it's a pretty inspirational story, so I'll link it down below for you guys to check out. Dropshipping was the same situation. The people who got there first were probably able to advertise for cheap, get their valuable advertising data to market to new customers a lot cheaper and more efficiently, increase their margins, and build a solid foundation before all these new dropshippers came onto the scene. The next possibility is probably more likely. Even though gurus might be showing you huge sales numbers, they don't show you all of their expenses, how much they spent on ads, how much they pay in taxes, and what's really left over in their pocket, and I bet it's not very much. And a more depressing possibility that 100% happens is that people can just fake their sales numbers. It's as easy as just editing the HTML in Chrome to change the numbers, taking a screenshot on your phone and changing the numbers in Photoshop, using someone else's account, and there are a number of other ways. So how are people making money from this then? Which one is it? Well, like most things in life, it's probably somewhere in the middle. You have those first movers with an actual business, you have the ones that have super low margins, and you have the completely fake gurus that literally just blatantly fake their numbers. But maybe I'm just being too negative. Let's say you can make a profitable, honest dropshipping business where you have enough profits to make it worthwhile. Even if that is possible, is that really the best long-term business model you want to get into? Where you're kinda just doing it for the money, not because it's what's best for the customers? Where you have major players like Amazon who aren't concerned about making a profit at all to snuff out the competition in the long run and provide as much value to customers as possible? Is this really the path you want to go down? So why are there so many gurus on YouTube saying just how great dropshipping is? Why is this ad you're about to see probably about dropshipping? Well, you've probably guessed it, but selling online courses are one of the most profitable business models out there right now that really is hands-off. And I'm definitely not like a saint putting down online courses because this is coming from personal experience too. I have a course on how I landed remote jobs, and even though it's a fraction of the price dropshipping gurus are selling their courses for, it's still ridiculously profitable. Like so profitable to the point where I would be pretty well off if all I did was shamelessly plug the course in every single video I made. But I personally don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be selling all the time and telling you that it's linked in the video description and you should totally check it out, because I'm just not like that. But in all seriousness, the ease and the money and the lifestyle that dropshipping promises is ironically more in selling the courses themselves than actually dropshipping. I've been pretty negative about dropshipping, but is there any hope to it at all? Is there any case where dropshipping is actually viable? There actually is. Even though the majority of the time customers care most about low prices, big selection, and fast delivery, there are other ways to provide value and in turn have a successful dropshipping business. The reason why Apple can sell their highest end iPhone for $1,300 and the AirPods Pro for $250 when there are clearly more reasonable options out there is because they're selling the experience. They're selling the gratifying feeling you get when you get to say,
"An apple a day keeps the broke people away."
They're successful partly because of how superior you feel compared to all the other plebs that can't afford an iPhone. And if you can find a way to do the same with a dropshipping store, there might be some promise in that. Or take the rise of Movement, for example, the popular affordable watch brand. Although they're really far away from just directly dropshipping in the traditional sense, I would assume they still white label their watches using existing manufacturers with their own slightly modified designs, and they actually use a Shopify store to host their website. But even though there are hundreds of other watch brands out there, they're so successful because they found an underserved niche, affordable fashionable watches, and marketed it in a way where you can still get away with some profit margin yet still keep it affordable enough to be successful. And probably the most realistic way I see dropshipping being a viable business model is if you already have a successful personal brand. For example, if Mr. Beast opened up a dropshipping store with like fidget spinners or something, even though those aren't popular anymore, and he just slapped on his logo, he will probably make a lot of money. This is because people aren't just buying it for the value of low prices, big selections, or fast delivery. They're buying it because it's coming from you, a person that they're a fan of, that they trust, and that they want to support. In fact, there are many channels that make an absolute killing with merch that's dropshipped, where the merch is printed on demand when someone orders and is shipped directly to them from the fulfillment center. So is there any hope for dropshipping? I think my opinion can be summed up to this. Whatever business you're going after, if all you're focused on is making money in the easiest business out of the box way, where you don't care about the customer at all and you just have this tunnel vision on making money, which is usually the mindset people go into buying these courses, unfortunately, you're gonna lose and you might as well not start. Because at the end of the day, money comes from a generous standpoint where you're willing to go the extra mile to help out the customer, not from the position of I want to make money to fire my boss. So next time you see an ad for whatever business opportunity comes up, just ask, how much value does this really provide to the world? Thank you so much for being part of the Watch to the End Club. What is your experience and opinion on dropshipping? Was this video like complete blasphemy for you? Let me know down below because I do read and reply to every single video. I reply to every single comment on my videos, and if you are new to this channel and you enjoy this style of like visually pleasing videos for the business entrepreneur niche, be sure to click that big red subscribe button down below while you're down there as well. You can also turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I release a new video just like this one every single week. One last final plug, you can follow me on Instagram at jaketrend.io. Thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome. I've been Jake. I'll see you guys in the next one.